What is up? What is up? What's up, guys? This is TEKNOBLAST and SIKSLAYER here on Techno's Gaming. I didn't have anything last week because what was I doing last week? Oh, we
Young
were
man
celebrating my
turned
kid's
12 years
birthday.
old. Yeah,
Yeah, he
12
was
years
turning
old,
8
right?
years old, and
Or 8.
yeah, he was turning 8. So we celebrated his birthday a day early
Wrong side.
because it was on Friday. But that Friday we were going out of town to Oklahoma, so we wouldn't have time to celebrate. So that's why we did it on Thursday, and there was no show on Thursday.
Oh, Oklahoma. That's K Mega's neck of the woods. He lives out
Oh,
there.
is it?
Oklahoma. Yeah, he lives in
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
so we went up to Broken Bow, which is the southwest of Oklahoma, like a little bit before it meets Texas.
Okay.
And it's just a few family of us that get together. Everybody has kids, and we do this a yearly thing where we rent a cabin and just do whatever that the little town has. It's just two little towns that's there, and I think it was an old mining town because they have everything themed out with timing and Bigfoot. Yeah. So mining and Bigfoot. So it's a fun place. Not that far. It's about 3 hours. It's a 3-hour drive. It's not that rough. The only thing that's rough sometimes is getting to the cabin itself because it's in the woods and it's on unmarked roads. It's like
so it's out in the boonies.
It's out in the boonies. Yeah. But they're nice though. That's the thing. These are $2-3 million cabin houses.
Wow.
That we just Airbnb it, and everybody splits the cost between all the families. So it's a lot of fun.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. Out here, Pennsylvania, I first moved out here, being from New York City, like this is just like the straight boonies, but this isn't even the real boonies where I'm at. Like the real boonies, like folks don't really know. When you're city folk like me, you just don't get it, right? Like you think the suburbs is the boonies to you. But
yeah, I gotta be in a city. I can't be out in the country. Being out in the country is nice every once in a while and visit. But to live, I don't think I can do it, So, but it was fun. It was nice. It was way humid though. That was the thing. And I don't know how popular it is up there in Pennsylvania, but I threw axes. I threw axe against the wall. They have that new thing that you could throw axes.
There's some place around here that does that. Yeah. That's a thing.
Axe throwing and
axe throwing, yeah.
Because a group of people that was with us, they went to do the escape room, and right next door to the escape room was an axe throwing business, and they're all together. They're collabing together and everything.
Right.
So while I was waiting, and a few of us were waiting for them to be done, and we had a whole hour to waste, we were there at the axe place, and I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and start throwing some axes. Why not? It was only $18, $20.
Why not?
For 30 minutes, right? So
it was
actually fun. It was actually fun.
How well did you do? You did pretty well.
Yeah. Some of the people like, hey, have you been doing this for a while? I'm like, no, why? It's like, you're really good at throwing the axe. It's like you just throw it, I mean, there is a method to it, to throw it and have it stick to the wall. But you just gotta know how to throw, pretty much, If you could throw a baseball, you could throw an axe. It's not a big deal. But one of the guys that was with me, he's around my age, but he's a scrawny little guy, right? So he doesn't have that much meat on his bones. So when he throws, it's like a little kid throw. Right? So it never makes it to the wall, or it just bounces off the wall, right? So I'm like, hey, you got to give it a little oomph, a little power, a little more,
yeah,
and throw it against the wall, right? Because it just kept slapping against the wall, and I'm like, dude, just give it some extra, aggression and throw the axe. And eventually he got it, but it was just too funny watching him just not be able to throw the axe. And then
this like a girl, but you don't want to tell him that.
Yeah, you don't want to tell him that. And then the one I was throwing was more of a hand axe, right? Like probably like a foot long, maybe a foot and a half long axe. And then the guy that was, running the business, he was like, hey, you want a bigger axe? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he showed me the bigger axe. It's one of those just regular ones, right? Yeah. That you would chop down a tree with. He's like, but this one you can't throw it with one hand. You have to go both hands and throw it over your head and chunk it.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And so I chunk it the first time, and it stuck on the wire, bam, around the wall, right? And it's like, oh, sweet, right? But of course, you gotta put some extra muscle because all the weight's behind you because of the back thing.
Right.
And the second time I chunked it, it bounced off the wall and like came right back. And I'm over here trying to scoop back, like trying to dodge it. Right? And I told the guys, like, you know what? You can keep this axe.
Should have dodged to the left or the right. You should have dodged to the left or the right. Next time something's coming at you, you go to a perpendicular direction, okay? Not parallel direction.
And then he came and said, hey, we have a bigger, and he showed me the bigger axe. I'm like, nah. Like, I'll stick to the regular one. That's it.
All right, now Tech, I came in late.
Welcome.
Where did you go? Hey, what's
Broken
up?
Bow, Oklahoma.
What?
Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Oh man, okay. Because when I joined, you guys were talking about leaving the country, so I'm like, dang, I didn't know he left the country.
No, staying in the country.
Like, yeah, my wife took me to do that for my birthday.
It's fun, right?
Did
you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I loved it. I mean, you know, sometimes I think I'm a Viking anyway.
So that's what we did last weekend. It was fun. It was good.
Well,
you said it was $18.
Yeah, it was $18 or so, $20 with tax and all that.
I don't know because my wife paid for it, but
I think it's more expensive here in the city. I've seen it here, and I think it's more expensive than what I saw at Broken Bow.
It probably is because that's Broken Bow, and you're in the Dallas area. just like I'm in the Houston area. It was nice. It was fun. I want to say it's like $45 an hour or something like that.
Yeah. Well, how much would it have been for an hour? I think it was $30 an hour. If I wanted to do, I did $20 for like 30 minutes.
And they had mead.
Mead.
You don't know what mead is?
Like drinks.
Yes, mead. Honey wine.
Like they have at that
like a Game of Thrones mead.
Yeah. Like
just like any Norse, pretty much any Norse show they have mead. Like there's a mead hall, right? There's a mead hall in Valhalla.
Yeah, and it's like before beer there was mead. Yeah,
mead.
Same shit.
Sorry, I didn't get your Viking whatever.
Well, no, they had it.
Yeah, the irony getting Viking info from a black guy, you know?
Yeah.
Box is hating on Layla. I like Layla. That's who I use. Redfall game, fun game, 9 out of 10. Character Layla suck as a single player. Her power lift and umbrella suck.
There's nothing. Look, I don't know Box, right? It's his name Box. My first time seeing him.
Yeah, my first time.
But I know that he is definitely a bot.
Welcome, sir.
First time viewer, first
Welcome
time
to the
posting.
He is a bot. I'm a bot too, but 9 out of 10. Yeah. Hey, but if Zelda's a 10 out of 10, you're right.
Oh, look at that. He brought it up.
Redfall is a 9 out of 10.
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, 96 across the board. Everybody's liking it. I gave up on Zelda, so I really don't care for it. What about you guys?
I love Zelda, but I'm not gonna. There are other games that I'd rather play.
Yeah, me too.
You know, because like I put like 220 hours in Breath of the Wild. It took them like a year and a half to come out with the DLC. By that time, I was done with it, and I bought the day one that came with the DLC. So this game is $70. You already know that the Switch can't handle it. Because they've been running games, and they've been having games running in teens for years, since around Hyrule Warriors. So I already knew that
HD. Yup, standard def, like 540p sometimes.
Yeah, and the game was not gonna be, it's time for them.
You're botting bad. Well, he's probably has a weak connection somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably on the road.
Is it? Am
Punty
I still
says, no, you're good.
You're good now.
Okay.
We lost everything you were saying.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, we know that the Switch can't run the games anymore, but they've been running games. They've been having games released that run in the teens since like Hyrule Warriors. It's time for them to go ahead and bring that Switch 2 out, but they don't want to lose the momentum that they already have from the Switch. But it's time.
Yeah, I agree. But I've seen more evidence than ever to make me think that it's happening. And it's only by one thing, so that's really not saying much. Is that with the report of Sharp making the LCDs, right? And apparently that report is coming from different angles as well. So it's not just, from one outlet. It's like from multiple, is saying independently.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to believe, like, because that's one of the key things. And they've had to deal with Sharp since, hell, back in the 80s. You remember the little disc system they had for the Famicom? Well, they had a combo system where it was the Nintendo, the Famicom there with the disc system in one, and it was made by and released by Sharp. So they've had a long-standing, relationship with Sharp since, back in the 80s and 70s.
It's sick. Did they sell Famicoms here? Because I hear people talking about Famicoms. Like, I've never seen a Famicom.
No. That was the Japanese Nintendo, but a lot of people.
That's what I thought. It was like I thought it was a Japanese version of Super Nintendo, but I keep hearing a lot of people talk about it.
The Famicom was the NES, and the Super Famicom was the Super Nintendo. So
yeah, but
family.
Okay, that's what I thought, man. Because I keep hearing people say stuff about it. I'm like, man, I've never seen it. Why are we talking about it? But I guess if you wanted to play some of those Japanese games that didn't come here, you would buy one.
Right. So yeah, but basically, getting back to the point, Sharp and Nintendo has had that relationship for a long time. So them making the screens, this is something they are good at for making, a screen for the handheld devices and stuff. That's like one of the ducks that needs to be in a row for the rumors to, to be actually accurate for once, because we've been hearing these rumors for like 3 years now, right? A Super Switch or whatever Nintendo, successor Nintendo system. I think
Super Switch.
Finally that it has to happen. And I was in a space earlier where people were saying that they don't expect it to be backwards compatible. I hope it is. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but I don't know.
Would you think
if it's not, that'll solidify what I've been saying. Like, I will not buy another Nintendo. But what I think they should do is go back to console and let the Switch be the Game Boy.
I think what they should do is a little bit of both. Kind of like with the and I don't understand why they didn't do this with the Switch, because remember the Switch is the same chip that they're using the NVIDIA Shield. It was already out. So a lot of people, including myself, was because I probably would have bought this if they had a little. It could just be a little box, right? That was minus the screen and the battery and all that stuff, right? And
not talking the PS Vita TV.
Basically, yeah. But because basically that's what the Switch was, just more powerful than handhelds commonly were, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to see. I think they could do that, right? We'll see. This is why I say successor system. It may not even be the Switch paradigm again. I don't see why they would move off.
I'm curious if, let's just say they come out with something or they announce something soon, like a Switch 2. Are they going to keep the cartridge format?
If they announce a Switch 2, then yeah, they should. But
yeah, if they call it anything Switch,
I mean, it seems like they keep
Switch
changing
2,
it up every generation.
Switch Pro, whichever. It's like the Wii U, right? Those are backwards compatible. Hell, the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube. That's because they use the same overall architecture, but just more up to date, and they could do that. And that's another thing. People fully expect for them to stick with NVIDIA, especially with the tech that NVIDIA has with DLSS and other things like that.
Don't they use FSR?
FSR, but FSR is a software thing. Anything can use that, right? So,
but whose is that?
That's AMD, but it's software. It's not hardware. Anything can use. It's open source. It's out there, for anyone to use. It's open.
So DLSS is hardware.
Yeah, it's hardware. And that's NVIDIA's hardware. And that was one of the reasons when they first announced the Switch that they said they went with NVIDIA, that they could use their technology in future hardware. The same thing, Sony and Microsoft said when they last generation when they went with AMD, right? It was obvious to everyone, the kind of hardware and what their plans were going forward to keep that ecosystem. But the problem with the Switch is if you buy a game digitally, it's attached to your system, not your account. They've never dealt with that, so that does give credence to people thinking that the next system wouldn't be backwards compatible. But in all, it just shows, it's time for a new system to be out. And one other thing, thinking about Redfall and how this relates. Of course, this game being 30 frames, when it can, right? But also on the same generation. It's not even next gen system. It's an old gen system. We're still waiting on the next gen, right? They increased the price by $10, but nobody's complaining about this at all. Few people who bring it up even, or just those who are bringing it up about Redfall, but there are those who were saying that well before we knew anything about Redfall being 30 frames. Like, this has been a complaint, it still is. It's just like, geez, Nintendo, I'm not messing with you. But hey, it was funny to see it was leaked all over the internet early, right? And the fact that there's no Denuvo or any kind of particular like that, like it was rumored. But maybe that's being, saved for the next Nintendo system. We'll see.
Well, the thing is, if it's already running at 14 frames per second, what is Denuvo going to do?
No. Denuvo protecting, people pirating the game. And,
yeah, but it slows down again. It slows down PC. You don't think it'll slow down a Switch?
I absolutely do, but
right.
This also gives it more credence that maybe it'll be in the next system, and maybe they'll add some hardware to support with that. It'll be hardware.
So if you're gonna,
instead of just be, software shenanigans, maybe.
So if you're gonna be running Denuvo, then that means they can't release another console that's three generations behind, right? Another thing that leads me to say that Nintendo's gonna do something different than just a Switch 2 is because Microsoft plans to put Call of Duty on their console.
So they need a little more power than what they have now.
Well, that's just the power aspect. I don't think that changes the form factor or anything. But
okay. When you start talking about power and form factor and this, then the third, you have to understand that the Switch is what it is because it was $300,
right?
And if you're gonna produce a console that's gonna have some power, that means that Nintendo's gonna have to start getting into the loss leader category with everybody else.
Well, yes and no. You have to understand how far behind the Switch is. Even
I just said it's three generations behind, but at the end of the day, their next iteration, right? The next iteration is going to have to do way more, right? If they want to start selling third-party software, they're going to have to create a more powerful console, and that's why I say that they can't release a console that's 3 generations behind it. I think they're going to come with something that's it needs to be at least the Series S, and if you're going to make a portable Series S. How much is that going to cost? Steam Deck was $400.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It needs to be at least as strong as the Steam Deck, and they have to find a way to get the cost lower than even the Steam Deck because $400 is not. It's $300. That's a sweet spot. That's why the Series S was doing what it was doing early. That's why the Switch has been doing what it's done this whole, I guess, Switch generation because they don't start their generation with everybody else after what happened with the Wii U. So that's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna have to find some way to get the prices right, and they need a stronger console so that they can start selling third-party AAA software. Go ahead.
I agree completely, but this is why I think also, and this is why a lot of people has been assuming that DLS will have some sort of play with that, right? Because that would help it to not have to be as powerful, right? To get it gives it that little boost, right? So. This is why everybody assumes and very hopeful that, because it's NVIDIA technology is assumed, right, that they would leverage that, hopefully. But overall, comparison to the Switch, it has to be orders of magnitude more powerful than the Switch. That's what it has to compete against, right? That's what it's going to be compared to, or at least within Nintendo's eyes, right? That's what they need to do. They need to be able to have what they have perform and look a lot better. It's not so much about what the Steam Deck and other platforms can do, although that is important because the multi-plats would be compared. So they've got that balance.
This like today, man. That ROG is a big, huge step in the right direction. They're not gunning at Nintendo yet, but eventually they will be. And when people like us, right? Because in Japan it's huge, right? Everybody has a Switch here, but they play those Nintendo games. When they start to have handhelds that can run AAA games and compete on price, that's when Switch is going to have some real competition.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because your normal $300 handhelds, they're barely doing just streaming. You know what I mean? So
have you played a game like The Witcher on the Switch?
It's probably I've seen it, and I've played Doom.
And how was that?
Ooh, Doom was really bad.
It's look, if you don't know any better, if you're a child, see, this is the thing. We're what I would consider hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
So it's straight buns, right? Because we played it on Xbox, we've played it on PC, and we know what it should look like. Same thing with The Witcher. You go play Witcher or even Elder Scrolls, not Oblivion, Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't know any better and that's your first experience, you thinking you cooking with Crisco. But but if you're taking, I get to play this game on the go, bro, it's so unfulfilling. Yeah. This is why Nintendo's own IP works best on their when it's a mobile platform. Your Animal Crossings, your
Pokemon,
your Pokemons, games like that. Your Mario, those are the games that work better when you try to take a Switch mobile. When you try to play AAA games. Even Zelda cuts the battery life down to 2 hours.
Every Nintendo system since the GameCube has had since after the GameCube, right, has had a gimmick. But I saw the writing on the wall with the GameCube, right? Because with the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Wait, what gimmick did the GameCube have?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It didn't have a game. It didn't have a gimmick. This is what I was. It actually started with the Wii, but I saw the writing on the wall with the GameCube, right? Because the GameCube, remember, in the end. Even the original Xbox outsold it, and you got to remember the time and how much hate Microsoft was having in those days. It was the middle of the whole monopoly thing, so all eyes and hate was against Microsoft was at its utmost, right? And even then, it outsold the GameCube by like 2 or 3 million, right?
It was like GameCube sold how many? 14?
No, 21. I want to say.
Really?
Xbox sold like 20.
That's slow.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Xbox sold
that's such a good system, though.
The Wii U sold like 14, right? And a lot of people who mention like say Spider-Man 2, they'll mention the GameCube version, right? Because that's the system they grew up with. That was their system. If they had a PS2, they had a PS2. But a lot of people like who started with consoles started with the GameCube. But put those people aside. Most other gamers, like the hardcore and just regular people, started looking at the GameCube as the system just for Nintendo games because everything else, third party, was better served on either PlayStation or Xbox, right? And PlayStation was blowing up back then. So there were people who were GameCube only, no doubt. But when you look at the sales numbers and all the thought of it with Nintendo, and remember, the way people were wondering about what became the Wii, remember it was called the Revolution. And my point is, from every system after the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, all had a gimmick. Something about the system that made people want to buy it for other things besides just Nintendo games. It was related to
because I remember the Wii was all advertised about movement.
Right.
Stop sitting down being lazy. Move your body.
Right. That was the gimmick.
Bro, people bought a Wii and they were happy playing Wii Sports. And
that was
it was the gimmick that got people in, right? But
I don't think that's a gimmick.
But it's the thing that makes people want to mess with the system otherwise, right? Because other than that,
and that's the reason why the Kinect came out on the 360.
Right, and the Move and so too the Move on the PlayStation. But Nintendo platforms are relegated to that's just the system I get Nintendo games. I'm not really messing with anything else, right? But ever since after the GameCube, every successive Nintendo system had something else to address that by saying, we're not just this. Well, with the Wii U, we've got motion controls. With the Wii, we have motion controls. With the Wii U, we have motion controls, and we have like a tablet type controller because that was the whole thing in those days. With the mobile tech and blah blah blah. And then with the Switch, they take that concept all the way. And then with that concept, now they're taking that concept, that gimmick all the way. And now it's not just about Nintendo games. They started reporting all their games on Wii U that never really got to sell. They reported all in those early days when they had no real software so they could perform better. And they started selling all types of retro collections and remakes and 2D games. Like a lot of people who are into physical love to collect the Switch version of these games. And there are a lot of people that I know who really don't mess with games at all, who might be wrestling fans, like in the wrestling community. I know a lot of people who bought Switches and they're buying all these older retro games. Dudes in their mid-40s, like us, who's not heavy into gaming and wanted to start gaming again. They got a Switch and would play a lot of these retro games who were very popular in the Switch. Yeah. And they found that little niche, right? So the next system has to have something that's a niche that keep them avoid people thinking of them as just a platform to get Nintendo games and nothing else. And so the Switch, a paradigm is worked. That took 2 systems to get right. I don't think they should move off of that. Hopefully they don't. But knowing Nintendo, they're gonna.
I mean, can you consider like 3 or 4 systems with the DSs because they kind of merged?
Oh yeah, together. The DS. Yes, the DS also showed because that's what held Nintendo down in those tough times, right?
Yeah, it was a DS.
In between
DS sold a lot more.
And the Wii, and then that late era between the Wii and the Wii U when they had nothing, right? That's what held them up. And yeah, the DS outsold the PS2, so it held them down, profits wise for a long time. So, but knowing Nintendo, you would think, oh, so this is where they should go, and they're probably gonna do that. But Nintendo always does something different. As much as we all think we know Nintendo, we've experienced what they do. It's like who's that Indian comedian? I forget, right? But he's like, oh, we'll go left, we'll go this way.
Peter or something.
Yeah, right. He's like, we'll go this way. We'll meet
Russell Peters.
Kamar.
Is it Russell Peters?
Peter. Yeah, Russell Peters, but it's actually not Russell Peters.
Did you say Indian?
Yeah, but it's actually.
You said Indian. I mean, because I'm a comedian guy. You said an Indian. I'm thinking Kamar, right? But you might be talking about Trevor.
I'm actually
South African.
Right, I just realized.
Are you talking about Mo from Houston?
I'm actually talking about Trevor Noah. I'm actually talking because I said the wrong comedian. It's actually Trevor Noah. He's like, this country always goes left. We'll meet you over there. We get the vision of where we need to be, but we're gonna take this little offshoot.
He's a comedian,
and that's Nintendo. Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was yeah, he's a comedian.
I think it was just a talk show.
That's how he got to where he is. But he's on Comedy Central, bro.
Yeah, and he left that show now. He's
not
hosting that show anymore. He left. Well, he's not hosting it anymore. He left, so he's back.
I mean, because he's a big deal. He really don't need nobody, man. He do what he want to do.
Yeah, right.
People love him.
Like his point was, and that's basically Nintendo, right? They'll do their own thing. Everybody will think they're wrong, but 2 out of 4 times they'll be right. So and then everybody will act in hindsight like they were right the whole time when they weren't. But we'll see.
Well, since Super Nintendo has been up, down, and I think that they're afraid of this next iteration being the down. Because with the Super Nintendo, you had the Nintendo 64. That was the beginning of the down. Well, then after that, you had the GameCube, which was still down, right? Wii was up, Wii U down,
up, down, left, right.
BA. But
right.
But yeah, I think they need to do something different. I mean, otherwise, okay, look, they don't need me. They got my kids. They had me when I was a kid. But I think I've outgrown what they do as a company, right? Like, yes, they make timeless games. Yes. If I want to take a dump, I can go play Mario and put it down when I wipe up. But I'm done. Like, when I want to sit down and play games for hours, it's not going to be those games. It's just
it'll be Redfall.
There are too many. Well, I did that. There are too many. What I would consider. Games. Over games. Now, Zelda is an exception in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't get into it, man.
You're good now, actually. But
they needed a novice mode where he couldn't get hurt because of his clothing or weapons and stuff, man.
Yeah, they were doing that with all those other games, and they got a lot of crap for it, so maybe they pushed off of that. But I kind of expected that was going to happen in that game.
I tried to like it. I played it. I forced myself to play it. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. But, there's mods and stuff you play on emulators, 60 frames, your weapons don't break, shit like that. That make the tedium parts less. But, yeah, I think Realist is right when he was saying, like, Nintendo has to be worried about this because they're on and off. And I keep thinking, as much as this blind credit Nintendo gets, they're still also pretty goddamn lucky when things work out for them. It's not just, they knew what they were doing. No, they didn't. Even the 3DS, when it first came out, was too expensive and it had no games. Both situations resolved themselves around the same time.
They ain't got no games.
Yeah, you remember when the 3DS, like the president of Nintendo, he passed away since, but he was like, he apologized, and they dropped the price. It was a whole big thing when they dropped the price of the 3DS.
I never got into the whole 3DS thing.
But
then when they had the whole 3D, like the 3D, like if you flip it down,
Yeah,
you're supposed to see it pop up like a augmented reality or something.
it wasn't supposed. Nah, it was never supposed to be like that. But that's what people thought. But then they had the XL version where they had the camera tracking your eyes, and that works a lot.
Yeah.
That actually works. But it was successful despite the 3D after they addressed the price and the software, and it became a very popular and well-selling system in its own right. But I think Nintendo has to do this right. And besides performance, let's say the performance is sufficient in whatever manner, right? They still got to get the price right, because I could see them charging $350 and thinking, "Oh, we Nintendo, our shit don't stick. We could do that, and it'll be good." And that would be an error, right? I think also not being backwards compatible would be an error, a major error. Don't do things that would piss people off, right? Especially when what you have especially in the minds of regular people, you're just like,
you gotta think about the digital store too, man, because they shut down their previous ones too.
Yeah, they gotta stop doing that.
They gotta bring that forward too. Otherwise, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna shut down your store every time there's a new generation.
Right. It's all the periphery things more than the system itself. As long as that's done at least sufficiently, it's more the periphery things and how they market, and if people understand what it really is. Because a lot of people just thought the Wii was an add-on for the Wii.
Yeah.
They didn't even know. So, we'll see though. All the ducks are starting to line up in a row like they should. We got the screen. We've been hearing about development kits and stuff like that. We'll see. It's all rumors. We'll see.
All right, guys. If you guys are watching on Twitter, I'm gonna cut it off. You got to move over to YouTube, and I'll they're disconnected now. Save changes. Yeah, we'll see what happens if there is a Switch 2. I mean, I forgot what year they came out. The Switch, what was it? 2016?
Yeah, I want to say so. I think
somewhere around it. That's old. That's old, man. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7 years. Yeah, it's about that time.
About that damn time. Like it should have happened past couple years. People kept expecting it and it didn't happen. And we were like, oh, okay. But that's kind of like the end of the 360 and PS3 era. That era was longer than people thought.
They're raking it in, man. They're raking it in right now. With that.
Yeah. So why stop the train?
Why stop
the gravy train?
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, they can have a system develop it right completely, and the parts get cheaper over time.
Or they're probably gonna wait till the next PS5 and PS5, the PlayStation and the Xbox come out, the new generation.
Yeah, at this rate. But also they could avoid, like maybe they were avoiding all the down end aspects of the pandemic, in terms of parts and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, now that that's starting to work out.
Look what's going on with the Xbox and play it. We'll wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, meanwhile, they could sit and work on this stuff, but obviously, they're not gonna. Right? Sit and work on their stuff and make it more stable and better, and better tweaked and all that, but get all the stuff prepped. Now that you have a system ready, you could instead put that energy, towards other periphery things and have those ready. Who knows what they're really doing?
Yeah. Who knows? All right. Not Nintendo. That's a lot of Nintendo talk. First time. 30 minutes, 34 minutes or so. Next one is not a big subject because it's a big deal for the people that got let go, but Ubisoft lays off 60 from customer service centers. I'm sure a lot of people were confused, like, oh no, they shut down a studio, or they let go some developers, or something that has to do with the gaming part of Ubisoft. But their service centers that were cut, and that happens all the time. I mean, even with my company, we got service centers that we're shutting down too, either because we outsource them.
Shame.
Huh?
Oh, that's a shame, because I'm reading the article and because the honest question popped in my mind, and I don't mean to be, and I know it could sound messed up, but honestly, I was thinking, who are you firing? Like some, subcontractor in India? Honestly, right? And then I'm reading this. They actually have people in America in multiple places.
North Carolina and Newcastle.
That's a shame. People always complain about this kind of thing, right? Like that's what you want instead of, because anytime you call a company for support, right? You get some person in India. Not that they can help you, or that I've never gotten great support from people like that, right? It's not about that. But to me, it gives me a bad, it's not a good look, right? because it shows you not putting a lot of money, effort into supporting me. And obviously, Ubisoft was actually doing that, and now they got to let them go.
Well, Dell did that for a long time, and they had to backtrack and bring back everything home, because at one point Dell was one of the premier and superior customer service places. That's why they sold so well at the beginning of Dell, and then they start outsourcing overseas for customer support, and that's when everything started going downhill for them, and they're starting getting a bad rap for Dell.
And then Michael Dell came back, and that was one of the things I know he worked on, because when he started the company, it was really a grassroots thing, customer support and all that. He would build machines, I
mean, I get it. Customer service, costs a lot if you're going to pay somebody here in the US, but you're getting better quality, because I mean, we can't skirt around it. If there's a language barrier, it's going to be tough for customers to talk to customer service if they don't talk the same language. But if they do talk the same language and there's a thick accent, I mean, that's even tougher too.
Yeah. And like I say, it's not like they can't. I've gotten great support,
Yeah.
Many times. I've gotten bad support for people right here in America. I've gotten bad support from anywhere in the world where these customer support people are. So it's not about that. It's just that it's not a good look. It makes it seem like you're not putting a lot of effort, right? Yeah. And it's just poetically messed up that it would be Ubisoft that's suffering this, because Ubisoft, you could tell, they're a company, and so there's a level of greed that's always there with all of them, right? But I always got the vibe that from the top, the family, I forget the Gilles Small family or whatever, right? Who actually owns the company. They really tried and really care about the industry they're in, per se. But they've had a lot of issues they've had to battle, of people trying to get their company, buy them out and stuff like that. So, but they made a bunch of stupid decisions that put them in in situations where they have to fire people, and games aren't being as successful as they could be because they're making dumb mistakes. But this isn't really that. I mean, if you ain't seen the news, companies are firing people left and right. The economy ain't too good. We could be in another recession pretty soon. Who knows, right? Like everywhere is getting hit. So it's just sad to see.
Yep. So I mean, too bad for the people part of it, but it's not the developers, it's not the game people. So anything that has to do with the game, who's making the game and deciding what's in the game and all that, it's not that. It's the customer service centers, and things change. I mean, it's part of business. I mean, the customer service centers is always a chopping block. Either you cut it down or you expand it, you go overseas or you bring it home. There's always changes here, because I know with my company, we did the same thing. We have a customer service center in Bolivia, of all places, and I think we're trying to bring it back home, because it's just not working out. It's just the way it goes with some of these service centers. So I'm sure people saw Ubisoft lays off 60, and I'm sure they automatically assumed developers are getting let go.
People act like they don't understand how big Ubisoft is, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be hardcore gamers. We're supposed to know what's going on in the industry, right? We all want to be media members. Like, they have over 20,000 people at Ubisoft, and we're gonna sit around here and do a prayer circle for 65 people. Look, it's unfortunate when anybody loses their jobs.
Hey, I've been there.
Yeah, but just like with Microsoft, these corporations are gonna choose money over people every single time. It's not a charity.
No matter how much they make.
Yeah, and when push comes to shove, I'm gonna disappoint you. I'm gonna disappoint my guy who's responsible for moving tens of billions of dollars away from our share, or selling off his shares. Right? Well, I'm gonna lay off a few employees. Sorry.
Yeah.
And 65 people out of 20,000 people, I think that's pretty good. But they wouldn't be able to lay off people over in France the way they could here either. That's another reason why, like, a lot of these people that talk about buying Ubisoft, or like us as gamer journalists, right?
Yes.
We like to we're
professionals here.
Yeah, we don't understand. It's like they don't. It's not like they don't understand that they can't just lay off people in France, and that's a reason. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't look at them as an attractive investment, because they can't cut costs through people.
Yeah.
It's some type of arrangement that they have through with the government, or the way they do things over there. I didn't read enough about it. I just understood it, and I was like, oh, okay. But now since it's come up,
Yeah.
you know, they can't just lay off. That's why you don't see them say, oh, they close a studio. They laid off 1,000 people. They because they can't. Maybe I think they have studios in like Canada and the United States. They can make moves here, but they wouldn't do it over there.
Yeah.
Which is why their customer service is probably laid off here as opposed to over there.
Mm-hmm.
But these companies don't care about customer service. They'll let you talk to a robot now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They've been itching for AI to take
If you want
over.
to talk to XXX
Oh,
department, press 1. If you want this, press 2. It's
Of
like,
all the things I can't wait to improve over AI, I mean with AI, it's that part right there, right? The part where I got to go through all that crap before I can actually talk to somebody. Make that
Please.
Smarter, please.
Please
but
say,
you know what? It was
please say
funny
or dial
because
your number.
what's so funny is that when it was human, we all wish for automated, and we have automated. Now we want human.
Because
Like,
we want automated that was actually good, like we saw.
I
Star
never
Trek
wanted
go after
automated.
that. Yeah,
I still press
I just want
I still
humans to
press
like
all
their
zeros
job.
just to get a real person. So,
I just want to talk to somebody who likes their job. When I had to call PlayStation about my broken controller, the dude literally went to sleep on the phone. He did.
It sounds like it was 100.
Yeah, it probably was Hondo.
sleeping on his podcast.
Yeah, this dude, like he told me to hold on, and he went to sleep on me.
He must have been over.
Like I was already on hold because that was back when the PlayStation first came out. I was already on hold for like an hour and a half, just holding, and then this dude goes to sleep.
Oh, this reminds me. Since I'm getting something to drink out of my little Xbox refrigerator down below, they're on sale right now at $35 at Walmart.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, the mini ones. Yeah.
Oh, the little bitty ones.
Yeah, the big ones are on sale for like 50 something.
I don't know if they are. I'll buy one. Like
I got the
yeah,
the mini
they've been
one.
on sale for a while.
The mini one doesn't look that mini to me, but it works.
It can go on your desk. Because this is the thing, like, you know, I'll start getting fussed at for buying random stuff, you know. So like I can't really validate.
That's just me. That's just me. I'm the only one who does. I don't even do that much. Like I'm not gonna fuck with you about it. Like I really
no. Oh, you? No, I'm talking about my woman.
So I think besides her, that's just the obvious.
Well, no, you. Mention. Yeah, well, you. Yeah, but like, so I couldn't justify getting an ambient cooler. I couldn't justify it when we got a big old refrigerator. So it's like, well, look, it was just this. I don't want to hear it. You always say it was on sale. Hey, you know,
it was on sale.
So $50, I think that's a go. You know, for an ambient cooler, you know that'll be good.
And it comes with that little, you know, smoke. What do you call that? The lighter charger thing, like the thing where you plug it in there. So if you're on a boat or whatever, right? The DC charger. It's even the little one comes with that. That's useful.
Man,
that's useful.
Look at sick. I live in Texas. And that's it. Look, it's an ambient cooler. It's only going to be able to get 40 degrees and on a good one colder than what's outside. And the heat down here is so overpowering.
It will melt the box.
That it's not even going to get to 70. It's like,
oh, wow.
It's crazy, bro. You'll be pulling out hot beverages.
But bro, if you're out on, you know, I was gonna say, if you're out there in the 110 degrees, you grab a 70-degree drink. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it'll be good, but see, that's why Yetis can sell for $500 here. Like down here in the South, Mississippi, them boys, they'll go buy those.
People
Yetis.
will be buying up the Yetis.
And then here in Houston, we got Arctic. So Arctic is right down the street. So everybody's buying Arctic around Houston. So yeah, that's why people buy coolers over like an ambient cooler. It'll work up there, but not down here, bro. I remember my cousin was like, "You want something to drink?" I was like, yeah, man. I said, man, this is hot. Then you take this out of the refrigerator? He said, no. This is what he talked to. No, cuz he said, no, cuz it ain't a refrigerator, man. That's one of them things that keep it a little cooler than what I said an ambient temperature cooler. If you say so.
He didn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to call it either.
I remember. I forget how long ago this was, but they had a sale of those ambient refrigerators of Star Wars, and I had one of Han Solo that was stuck in the carbonite. All right, man, that thing broke like within 6 months or so. It wouldn't cool anything. Somebody bought it though. I sold it on eBay, and somebody bought it.
That's messed up, because it reminds me of all this ambient cooler tech conversation. See, just before they announced it, I was on the lookout for a mini fridge, and I found one on Amazon for like $99, real refrigeration. So when they announced the Xbox one, but before they said the price, right, I'm thinking, oh, it'll be something like that, and maybe it'll be like a $29 big on it. It'll be $129
it's like $100
with the Xbox logo, but it'll be a real refrigerator just with the Xbox logo. Since I was waiting on that, and I was willing to spend $100, okay, fine, I'll wait to see when they announce it, whatever it is. And then when it was that, I was like, I forgot. I was disappointed. But then I got all wrapped up in not being able to buy one. Then I forgot all about that till just now. Yeah, man. I forgot. I was disappointed it was in an action. So you know what I need to do? I need to find myself an Xbox refrigerator magnet, buy that goddamn refrigerator, and just stick it on that mofo and call it a day, bro. I should have just did that in the first goddamn place.
I'm pretty sure it's easy for them to make a couple calls to China to put together an ambient.
Right.
As opposed to put together a real refrigeration unit.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I should have just did that, bro, man. And then I could have did a dope little video on YouTube, be like, you know what? As much as I like your little Xbox, and it's cool.
Like I'm gonna do a dope video.
Xbox, but you know what, bro? Yo, here's a little hack for you. Get you a proper mini fridge and get you one of these things. Boom, put that on. Good to go. SIKSLAYER.
Better get with D-Brand and let them customize you Xbox grill on the top of the Xbox. Yeah, get you a little black refrigerator.
I need a proper refrigerator up here in this room right here.
So you know what I need to do? I need to find myself an Xbox refrigerator magnet. They gotta exist.
If they don't,
what they need, what they better.
Etsy if you don't.
What they need to do is actually put out that large ass refrigerator that they did in one of the shows, like it was a full size one.
Yeah, but that's asking people to spend $1,000 or better.
It looks like an Xbox in their kitchen.
I mean, if I was like a youngster with a lot of money, then yeah, I'd do it, and it'd be total poon repellent.
Indeed.
Oh man.
So you gotta put bottles of rosé and stuff like that in it to get her back.
Oh, what is this? You get an Xbox refrigerator? Girl, there's drinks and food in there. Just eat.
hey, Tech, have you been playing Redfall?
Only when I played with you guys that one time, because then I left and then I haven't played much since coming back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Over the weekend.
Like your first impressions? Is it buns? Is it good?
I like it. It's fun. It's fun playing with you guys. I've played alone, and just like Sea of Thieves, this is what happens exactly with Sea of Thieves. You walk around by yourself. You play alone. It's a bit boring, okay? Because you walk around. There's not many encounters, and I told you when we played, it's like you walk from house to house or from sections of the map to another section. There's not really many encounters with anybody, right? And if you do, you can just run away and they'll stand back and leave you alone. Mm-hmm. They really don't follow you anywhere. Mm-hmm. But if you go with your friends, just like we had a whole crew, that was fun. Because it was we're going through the nests, even though we had like 3 or 4 crashes last week. But finally we were able to finish one or a couple, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it has its shortcomings. It does drop below 30, which is terrible, right? The AI is awful, especially when you're alone. I think it was kicking our butt when we were all playing together.
Well, we were. See, that's what I was about to say. Like people want there to be vampires all over the map. To me, that
Yeah,
gets annoying,
yeah,
right? Because there's only so many variations of the enemy that they're going to be able to put all over the map. So that's what I hated about Horizon, like a big old huge map, and everywhere you turn, there are these same robots that all you got to do is just two swat them, and they go
yeah,
away.
yeah,
So it's like if they had vampires all over the place, that's why you're supposed to be completing your tasks, right? And that's
yeah,
why fast travel, like the fast travel in there, man, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, you can
yeah. The
there's
fast
fast
travel
travel
was
points
good.
all over the place, and everybody can travel to different areas if they wanted to. But
Yeah,
what we did when we did the nest, that's what you're supposed to be going to. You encounter a few vampires on the way, but the real fight's in there. Now they do need to fix the RNG on it. What is not RNG? What is it called what is it called? Like Starfield's gonna have it on a lot of the planets. Uh, when
what?
when they when they're able to reduce
Randomly
environments.
generated,
Well, that's what it is, but there's a word for it. But we'll say that. And
procedurally generated.
procedurally generated. So that they need to fix that when it comes to the nest, because there were some times that we went and it was like, man, this was just like the last one. And then we go
Oh
to
yeah. We talked about
yeah,
that when we were playing. It's like, dude, this is the same entrance as the other one, right?
right,
Until you pass a certain section, of course, everything's different. But it's like, yeah, they need to change that up. They need to make it unique every time you go in there.
right. And that's something that they chose to add into that. And that's why I said this game is going to be an evolving game, like State of Decay was. It won't be what it is next year. It won't be what it is this year, next year. Now, is that fair to us as gamers to, have to be a part of them in their evolution? Yes and no. I mean, if you like it, you'll keep playing. If you don't, you'll leave and go play something else. You know.
I mean,
But
if they dedicate time and resources like they did with Grounded, like they did with Sea of Thieves, like they did with State of Decay, it could be another hit. It's just terrible that it's getting a bad rep right now in the state that it came out. And I don't fault the people that are mad about it, because there was high expectations for this game when it first was announced, and it just kept getting hyped up until it released. And we're like, what is this?
Right. And
Even though we enjoyed it, I'm sure others who just kind of jumped in and said, like, what is this trash?
I forget who said it, but I think actually multiple people have said it. I'm not sure really said it, but who said it most recently, and that brings it to mind, I forget. But like we're right on the cusp of Microsoft releasing a lot of stuff, right? Almost back, and it's almost like no room. If they delayed Redfall to the holiday season, it's kind of suffocate a little bit. Well,
Yeah, they're competing against Starfield now.
Right. That's a problem. Let's put it like that. I don't want to overhype that too much, right? But that's a problem, right? I just see that from the numbers of people playing it, the engagement numbers is pretty good. So it's not going to be a bleeding edge situation where they're like, oh, it's really nobody messing with it at all. So
Bleeding Edge was also a MOBA.
Right.
And
I'm just saying, like,
MOBAs need to hit. It's like
right.
like you guys mentioned Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was like so barren. It was literally me being like Gilligan. I was on a boat watching the waves.
Yeah.
Like look at the cloud work. But that's what it started as. And then kids throwing me in the brig and I just quit. But
right.
like it
What's up,
evolved
Shane?
into what it is now.
What up, Shane? Yeah, it blew up into something bigger.
Yeah,
but
Shane.
Redfall actually started off, in a better position than that did. So if that could blow up that much, I think.
Well, no, I think it'll blow up.
Right. So I think it's gonna survive these early times with the numbers it's getting now. It could survive these early times if these updates and stuff start coming out, right? Like, or at least,
they need to be
if they need to be expedient, but at least in the perception wise, where people don't start asking for them for too long before they see anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just in the actual perception of you're doing something, actually doing. It's messed up how it is, and that's a lot of what Phil Spencer was alluding to in his interview, right? Like,
oh my god,
like it's not about how well you do anything. It's just how it's seen, right?
Perceived.
Thank you. Right? Hey, you get me a get back. Thank you.
No, because that's
No,
really
no,
what
no,
I've
you're
been
right. I'm
saying.
thanking you for real. Like, thank you. Just when I helped you with procedure generated, now you're helping with that. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. That was
No,
not
because that's
sarcastic.
really that's
Yes,
what really is starting to irk
you're
me
right.
with this whole gaming community is perception. But go ahead.
Yes, yes. And so it's unfortunate but that's what it's really about. It's not even about the truth of how quickly and how big these updates and improvements are, right? It's about how it's seen. That did it get seen as it came out quick enough? Because if they do it back to back to back to back to back within like the next say month, right? But nobody's paying attention because nobody was playing it. Like let's say with Bleeding Edge, when nobody, like everybody just stops playing it all of a sudden, right? Like they're fed up and don't give a crap no more. And then they don't even pay attention to the fact that a lot of updates and things are out, right?
Real quick,
And then
Sick, wasn't Bleeding Edge like a shadow drop?
it was a shadow drop to like early access.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah.
It was like early access.
I liked it.
Right.
It's just there weren't many modes in it.
Bro, the MOBA, if the FPS genre is uber competitive, the MOBA space is too. And if your MOBA doesn't hit, it's dead.
Yeah, so overall, it's just a perception of how it's seen that it's done, and if it gets that see, because it seems to be it's supposed to be levels to this, but what really happened? It's like what they say when in Halo, right? Like if you notice how all the Marines always got smart stuff to say, and there's all different lines, right?
Yeah.
In real life, that's supposed to happen like 5% of the time. So when they were developing the game, they only put it to like 5%, and nobody noticed it. Then they bumped it up to like 80% of the time or 90% of the time. Now people notice that it's a thing that the Marines do, and that's how they released it, right? Yeah. So it's the same with these updates. It's not even about when or how good these patches are. It's more about how it's seen when it happens, the kudos they get. If they get a bunch of kudos, it's all well and good. If not, it'll be seen as, oh, not only did Microsoft mess up with the game, and then they just left it to die and do nothing to support the game, right? It's either or. And instead of being levels to it, where there's,
that's what they did with Bleeding Edge, man. They just let it die.
Right. It's going to be one of those extremes and nothing in between. So,
but Ninja Theory wasn't equipped to really put out a MOBA. It was more like let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And if it takes off, then it takes off. Because, like, yeah, dude, you got so much competition when it comes to MOBA, and so many people who are entrenched and invested in those games that, like, that's tough. That's why we're like, when it comes to PlayStation and their online games, bro, like, you can't just say, oh, we're gonna do this. It happens, and it just happens on accident. Like Fortnite wasn't Fortnite, PUBG wasn't PUBG. Like they were just ideas. We're gonna have 12 different games, and that's what we're gonna be. This is what we're gonna do. Bleeding Edge. If it would have popped off, then it would have been fine. But if it didn't, they did good to let it go.
Yeah.
Poe's asking, do you guys remember Death Verse? I've never even heard of it.
Not even.
Death Verse?
Never heard of it.
Death Verse?
Tell us, bro.
Yeah.
I'll look it up, but like I've never even heard of a game called Death Verse.
But it's fun. I mean I like it. The little that I've played, that I've enjoyed it, either solo or
I've never cared. I was never interested, so it didn't one way or another. It's just
I play with Realist, and I play with J Rock and like some other guy. And then the funny thing, I think we were done for a little bit, and then I started playing, and Realist jumped in, so we were together playing, and then his buddy came on, but this guy, was like a surfer guy. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Realist? What's going on, dude?" And it was cracking me up. It's like you could tell this kid was just totally surfer, like California type.
He was high.
So you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that's my man.
And it's like, oh man, it's like, hey, you want to play? Let's come on, jump in. All right, dude, let's go.
Yeah, because look, all he wants to do is play Wolong.
Oh, does he?
He plays Wolong dreaming of the DLC.
Oh, okay.
Like he's like, dude, like if we keep grinding and we keep doing this, we'll be ready by the time the DLC comes, because the DLC's coming in June, man. You know that, right? Like, he just loves Wolong, and that's all he wants to play. He keeps telling me, "Well, I'm done with the game. I'm gonna play Defender. I play that with Legal, probably you, whoever." But like going back to that game, there need to be meaningful updates, right? I don't care that there's not 50 million vampires all over the screen because all over the map, because that will get annoying, right? Then they'll say there are too many. They just need to find the proper balance. Get rid of the bugs.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the bugs.
The crashes was bad that one night.
Yeah, because man, like
we were at the end people, every single time and then crash.
Oh yeah. But see, that's how you know people are having fun, because they're like, okay, let's try it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
we did like 4 times until we finished it.
We tried, but there's another guy that he ran with me. We ran for like probably 7 hours, and we get booted. He's like, no, I'm still here, dude. Let's go.
Just show you perception, bro.
One thing I don't like is that there's no drop in, drop out. They need to add that. Seriously, I mean, we're too far ahead in gaming that you got to have drop in, drop out.
Don't say that, because there's so many games that do worse when it comes to online connectivity and cooperative gameplay. There's so many that do worse.
But come
on,
there's so many that don't quit your game and then host it.
Yeah. I agree with you, Tech. I agree with you, Tech, but I agree with Realist, because it's like every game can't be the be all end all. Now that we have this whole wish list of things we wish they do with this game, right? Like, it's not on this game to be all the perfect things that we wish a game would have, right? It first and foremost needs to fix its issues first and foremost, right? And then
that is a huge issue when it comes to the crashes.
Right, the bugs, that's right? That's what I'm talking about.
because this is a cooperative game, and it should have
and
it should have been sold as a cooperative game. I'm real quick and let you go, because like they should have sold that as not as a single player, but as a strictly cooperative game. I agree. And that's a huge part of that game, being able to play with each other, not crash. And I agree with Tech, but look, it is what it is. If you're down to just the host and it's a new session, you still got your progress, and the people who are playing with you. Oh yeah, the people who are playing with you don't get the progress.
But they do though, because I kept mine.
No, you didn't.
I kept mine.
You got your XP and your weapons, but you didn't get any story progress.
No. Yeah. I'm talking about the XP. Yeah. No, not the story. Yeah.
That's the most important thing, I guess, huh? XP.
Yeah, the XP to me is important than the story.
Because
I'll run through my own story.
You could grind through story easy afterwards.
Yeah, but y'all didn't have a lot of people asking y'all to play with you. Come play with me, all right? And I'm doing the same quest, because everybody's at the beginning, and I'm doing the same quest 3 times, 4 times, and then when I go to my game, I have to do it again.
At least you know what to do now.
Yeah, whatever.
So basically, what I'm saying is, besides all this perception of issues, blah blah blah, guess what? It's doing well enough. It could have done better. It could end up being a Cyberpunk situation if they really put their foot in it and really get it right. But in the end, what does this really mean? Besides the perception thing and all that does, right? Putting that aside, right? We discussed that to death, right? What does that really mean at the end of the day for Microsoft? Not so much. They still making this money. People are
but now all eyes are on Starfield.
Now all eyes is on Starfield.
All Twitter eyes, bro. Because I play with so many people
who have no idea about Starfield.
They could care less about anything that we talk about on Twitter. They don't even watch YouTube. They just play games.
Yeah.
So like these for you, right? And if Starfield comes out an 11 out of 10, like Phil said, you're still gonna have something to complain about. You're gonna say this should have came out last year. There's always gonna be something. So these people that you guys like to bring up, it irritates me. Did y'all say Shane was in here too? He's another one. It's like, yo, you're so solid, man. I don't understand why you even paying attention to these guys. It's like there's always gonna be some.
There he is, right there. He says, "Sup, Google."
That's
why I asked that question. Right.
Xbox is going to have to build that. Like, it's not up to us to keep telling everybody Xbox is good. Xbox is going to have to bring out enough games, because as an Xbox fan, we got to be honest, their first party has not been up to par when it comes to bringing out a bunch of games. Right. But this machine is about to get chugging, baby, and there's not going to be any looking back. There are too many studios for them to have any more dry spells. But
Yeah.
once Redfall comes, it's bad, right? We had Hi-Fi Rush. Nobody really paid attention to it. I believe that they should have given it. It was a cool idea to shadow drop it. I think that like Xbox is in a position where they don't know how they're going to be received when it comes to their gaming, because you get, if that game would have been on Nintendo, they would have given it a 95. Right? 89 is still favorable, right? But if you look at like your boy Destin, right? I saw that on Twitter how he's complaining about 30 frames, but then he can't wait to play Zelda. Is it 30 frames or is you didn't like the game? I'd rather you just say you didn't like the game, not complain about 30 frames.
Yeah, that's why I always say I never cared about the game, so I really, I don't sit here and cap for the game and defending nut.
Capping.
I never cared. I didn't give two. So whatever.
Yeah, I did. I'm vampires and zombies. You count me in werewolves. You count me in. I'm
zombies.
in there.
You count me in with zombies.
We don't
have too many vampire games. So.
And the messed up thing about it,
that's you. I thought this was zombies.
Yeah, I thought it was. Remember, don't forget. I first thought this was just like a Left 4 Dead clone.
Right? Dog, you need to play with us on Dying Light 2, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he'd have to buy it.
Oh yeah, he has to buy it.
Yeah, but like Dying Light 2, it's hard to get you on the game too, Tech. I mean, I'm working this week, but I was off for like 6 days. I was just playing games and getting fussed at by my kids.
Yeah.
Like, won't you play something?
No,
with us?
I came back from Oklahoma, and the only thing I'm playing right now, which I'm trying to finish, is that Atomic Heart.
I need to finish that and A Plague's Tale.
Atomic Heart is good. It's good.
Nice.
Once you start getting your weapons in, like upgrading your weapons and getting the right weapons and all that, then it's like, yeah, I like this game. It's cool.
I think it's a very interesting game. I think it's a 7 out of 10, like they rated it. They were accurate with that. But we got to stop with this 7 is a bad game too,
right?
Because there are way more 7s and 8s and 6s than 9s. Like, yeah, okay, if it hit 9, then it's supposed to be exceptional, great. But that don't mean we take a dump on 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
It's a solid game.
My bar is at 8 and above, man. That's it.
Oh well, hey, I mean, because I played Ravenlock and they gave that a 69. Now, for me, it's an 80.
Yeah.
Like it's like when I played it, it was so quick and responsive. I was like, wow, it's a basic little game, but
Shane's
I still have fun playing.
Facts.
But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. I've been playing Gotham Knights.
I still haven't started that. I have that.
I bought it for the low months ago, and then I was like, you know what? I had to wipe my Steam Deck, so I was like, you know what? Let me download this.
Oh, speaking of that.
Yeah, the first Dying Light was freaking awesome.
That's the next subject.
Yeah, Dying Light. Poe's reference talking about Dying Light. Yeah,
dude, Dying Light is outstanding. Dying Light 1 was outstanding. I love Dying Light. I'm down to play all the time.
I'm not even close to finishing it.
Bro, when you finish the game on New Game Plus, the zombies start exploding. I'm like, man, I don't know what to do with this. You kill them and they take away like 3/4 of your life, and it's like, man, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I need to step my parkour game up. Now I did like the parkour better in Dying Light 1.
I think so too, from what I can remember.
Yeah, because
that's what I've heard from a lot of people.
It was more predicated on the parkour, right? And part of that might be kind of like with Plague's Tale Requiem, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, you only get the slingshot." Yeah, because it's a AA studio making a AA game, and that was part of their limitation to give you a slingshot. And then now you do the aggression, and they give you a crossbow. And with Dying Light, like they pretty much told you to stay on the roofs. Yeah, stay on the roofs. Avoid the. Oh man, you know one thing they should bring back, and then I'll be done. When they let the player come in, but they don't even have those. Yes, they do. You could be a volatile. Remember in Dying Light 1, you can join people's game as a volatile.
Yeah. You come in as an enemy. Yep.
Yeah, but see, when you got that dev weapon, it made you couldn't do anything because it was a one-hit weapon. So it's like nobody wanted to be a Valo anymore because everybody was duping weapons.
Yeah, I remember. That's how I got some of my good weapons that I have right now in Dying Light 1.
Duping.
Was that somebody duplicated something and like, hey man, you want some weapons? Like, sure. Dude, and I just breezed through the game because there were one slash kills.
Yeah, you found that once you found that blueprint, the game was broken. And see, that's why I like Dying Light 2. You get the charm, and all it does is lets you repair your weapons.
Yeah.
So that does, and then there is no Kobik machete that one shots enemies. So yeah, I like that game, bro. You wait till you see what's his name? The guy.
The guy.
What's his name?
Aiden?
No, the villain.
Oh, I forgot.
Okay, Drake or something like that. Whatever his name is. Wait till you see him.
Yeah. So I need to get back in there. I'm getting a little behind here. Let's see what do I got here. Let me look at my spreadsheet. I got a
You're not
spreadsheet.
behind, bro. You skipped a week. You gotta make up lost time.
Let's see. Dying Light 2, In Sound Mind, which I kind of lost interest in, but I still want to play it. And then Atomic Heart, which I've been busting through it. Redfall, which I do want to finish at least the story. That just came out, so it's not like I'm in a hurry for it. And if they put a couple updates, hey, I'm all for it, man. It's like fix it up a little bit before I finish it. And ones I bought recently was Gotham Knights and Callisto Protocol. But that doesn't count all the Game Pass games still. We always go through this. It's like there's tons of Game Pass games that I still have on my wish list that I need to play and just don't have the time for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Game Pass. It's just there's so many games in there, bro. Oh yeah, that's not. I had to buy that game, but man, I like I said, I've said it before, but I like Microsoft's initiative towards strategy.
Yes.
Like putting those games in a brighter light, introducing those games to console because there's a game like Tower. What's the name of that game? Kingdom Rush. I've been playing that game for years. And they brought that to console. I just bought it on principle because I love that game. They need to bring Blooms to Xbox. There's so many games that are like top 10 sellers on mobile. See, they laughed at us when we were playing Vampire Survivors. You see what I'm saying? Like, but that doesn't take away from the fun factor of a game.
Box is still here. Box is still listening. Unless he left and came back. He just said State of Decay 2 update number 33 out yesterday. New way to play. You know, I played the first one and the second one. And both times I've given up on the games. Not because I didn't like it. I do enjoy them. Except I just don't do well with survival games because they just take forever to play. And if not that it seems like you got to keep up with it, but my people just die. My community dies all the time. I can't keep up with my community. I'm pretty bad at it. Shane says, I just bought Gotham Knights only $20. What? Yeah, when I was talking about? That's how much I got mine from GameFly. I got 2 games from GameFly, and they were both like $20.
Yeah, he got Gotham Knights. I thought I saw like $24. Like, man, I got it for 23 on Steam. Because there was no way I was gonna spend $70 for that game. Like, I'm not a huge. I like Batman, but if you're like real big into the lore and everything, then yeah, you know that was a day one buy for you.
Yeah.
I remember I
picked up Callisto. Well, I told you guys. I picked up Callisto, brand new for like $13 after discounts.
From where?
From GameStop.
I got it for $25 at Walmart.
Damn, yeah, that's good.
# physical. It's my it's my second physical. I bought Yakuza Steel Box, and I got
physical.
Callisto.
I've only ever put 2 discs inside my Xbox. One was Halo Infinite. Even though I had preloaded it right off a Game Pass, you know, it's supposed to be the same SKU. So hey, I'll put in the disc, and because it's already installed, it'll launch it, and that'll be a good way to test the game, to test my drive, know that it's good. I blessed it with a Halo game, right? That's what I did. It worked. It was all good. Then I tried Top Gun Maverick when that came to 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And so a movie worked. Other than that, I've never put that in the drive ever. Like, and
I don't think I played a movie yet on my Xbox.
But when it comes to physical, I don't really care. Like anymore, it doesn't really matter too much.
I mean, I have a few Blu-rays and 4K movies here, but I haven't played. I don't think I've played anything on my Xbox movie-wise.
The last Xbox, movie. I just wanted to see that. And plus, you know, it was Top Gun, and it was nuts for that movie last year. So yeah, but like the last physical game I bought was Sonic Mania Plus, which I already had digitally, right? DLC everything, played to death, love it. But I knew it was like the final version of the game printed on disc, and there were no more updates. I was like, all right, I'll get that. Stuff like that I'll get, knowing what's on the thing. Like conversely with Halo, I know that disc is literally empty. You have to download the whole thing off the internet. Not even it because it's out of date and would have to re-download it everything anyway. It's not even that. The disc is empty to begin with. And I knew this going in. I just wanted to have a physical, you know, thing to go with my head. And I want to give money to the franchise I love, right? I bought all the Halos. I'm always going to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I did that, right? And even Halo 5, I bought the disc used because I bought it digitally. But to have a physical disc, you know, to go with the collection, I was at a pawn shop. It was there. Picked it up $20. But other than that, I really don't care because the physical just don't do what it needs to do anymore.
Nah.
Oftentimes, you don't even have the 1.0 version on the disc. And even when they do these collector's editions, even on 360, I would do this. I noticed. What they do is they take all those unsold versions of the games and they package it together with the DLC disc or whatever it is in the same box. And they'll just, and that's not even because it's still missing all the patches and stuff. It's rare you see when they come out with a disc finally. It's got like the last version with all the good, you know, like the game of the year.
And even then, it still needs an update.
Yeah, even then, it needs some stupid update, and that's the thing I don't like. If the physical edition can even provide that, right, that actual protection from, you know, one day when the network is all down or whatever, I can pull this out.
We're in a digital world now, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's just not protecting from that anymore. They're not putting the relevant information on the media to begin with, so it's irrelevant. So
we live in a digital world now, man. We gotta start embracing it and stop trying to fight against not having a physical. Because I don't remember the last time I bought a physical. Well, besides Callisto, I went to GameStop. But just to say, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to Best Buy, Target to buy a physical.
And it was a deal. It was cheaper than buying it digitally.
Yeah, it was cheaper buying digitally because of all the discounts I had. So
that was the main reason I went digital. Because the games were cheaper.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
As they should be. All the time.
Yeah, that's why when I started rocking with
Steam, a game will go on sale digitally way before it will physically. Because you can go to Walmart, they're selling games for $70, and you can go in the Xbox store or wherever and get the game for half that.
Facts.
I don't even use the CD key sites, and I should. I'm a dummy because I don't, right? I just depend on Steam sales, and then whatever the price is on something on Xbox that I want, if it's on sale, I'll grab it then if I really want it at that moment.
Right. That's why when you said I want that game, I was like, no problem.
You know what I'm waiting
Steam
for.
Had it for 60.
I'm waiting for the
game.
PlayStation PS Plus worth it.
Yeah. Thanks again, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
What are you waiting for, Tech?
PS Plus to be worth it.
Bro, Ratchet and Clank just hit that, man.
Man, I already finished that.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Actually, Ratchet and Clank was fun. I actually enjoyed it.
But you already beat it, so it's irrelevant to you.
Yeah. I already beat it. It was fun.
Yeah, Sony needs to do more of that on that thing, the PS Plus. They're just not. They got the back catalog.
But the add-ins will never, because they try to compare it to Game Pass. It doesn't matter what.
Oh no, I'm not even saying compare Game Pass.
No, I'm saying they do. I'm saying they do.
Yeah.
The game. It doesn't matter how good the game is if it's in there 2 years later.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I agree with Tech. It was a fun platformer. But I had a PlayStation, and there was really nothing I wanted to play outside of what came with it, like the PS4 games. So it's like, all right, this is a PS5 game. Let me get it. So I got
with
it.
the super duper SSD.
Yeah, and when I played it, I went on Twitter telling the truth. Everything is choreographed. It is not the power of no SSD. It should be on the PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played the game? Yeah. I don't talk about stuff that I haven't played, bro. Like, look, when you go through it, we've seen that before in other games where you go through like portals and things. It's nothing but somewhat of a loading screen.
Titanfall 2, right? That's a memorable, and that was just a level gimmick.
Yeah. I think that. Yeah, I was about to say Mass Effect. Yeah, but it's Titanfall. I knew it was an EA game, but we've seen that before. Like, but yeah, if that game was great and it came out 2 years ago, you should have bought it. And it was on sale for $35, $30.
But
like 4 times like before it hit the service.
If let's say I finally get a PS5, I want to play Ratchet and Clank, right? Why the hell would I buy it if it's on PS Plus? I'll just rock that version. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a dude who come late to the platform, and that's the other thing about it too. It kills sales of games, right? Like instead of me because before this, I would have just bought the disc. It would have been on sale price by now and stuff like that. They would have got this money though. Now the expectation is, this service to provide it for me. I'll pay for that, but I was already paying for that just to be online. You're not really getting that much. I guess you are, because. But see that's what Sony wants though. They want they'll let it run its course, put it on sale 3 or 4 times, and say, okay, it's dry. Let's throw it in the service. Right. And then people play it in the service, and they say, oh, it's a cool game. It's a cool game, and then they snatch it out. Right. That's what they do. He's not lying. So
like that's their play. And they're pretty upfront about
like we'll take it back.
Yeah, they don't lie about it either. Yeah, they do.
They were pretty upfront about that. Like,
they are.
Xbox really is invested in their service, and they really do want you in their service. If you choose not to be in the service and buy the game, then fine, they still get the money.
Yeah.
But with PlayStation, they're still trying to sell that game so that when the next one comes out,
still want the money, Lebowski.
When the next game comes out, they're able to say 20 million people. They're able to say 20 million sales. Put on a platinum list or a PlayStation Essentials buy page, stuff like that. Go ahead, bro.
No, he was just doing references to what's the movie?
Lebowski.
Big Lebowski, yeah. Yeah, don't mind him. But yeah, it's true what you say. But we went pretty long in this subject, and we got the other one. I'm not trying to go too long on that one. I know we could. I still haven't told them the story about what happened, and yeah. So
well, we're gonna talk about this thing. The Asus ROG. Is that how you pronounce it? ROG?
I don't think
it's an acronym.
Oh, is it?
Republic of Gamers.
Republic of Gamers, yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Asus. You're a PC guy, Asus. Asus. Republic of Gamers, yeah. And it's the ally, as in, someone who has your back, not alley as in Sheedy. Okay?
or you got caught in the alley.
Facts. But yeah, man, there it is.
So this bad boy's coming out $699. Okay, since you guys are my expert handheld guys, is $699 a good price?
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Is it?
Hell yeah.
What did the chicken salad lady say?
I don't know.
Superior.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah,
it's a great price. If you go through the spec sheet and see what this thing is capable of, I watched the video earlier today.
I didn't know about videos when I came home.
It's over 8 teraflops for the $799 version. The 500 is as powerful as a Series S, and that's why I was saying what I was saying earlier about Nintendo trying to make a handheld as powerful as the Series S. it needs to be somewhere there to get AAA games, right? Because
Yeah.
all these excuses that these developers are making, oh, I can't do it. I bet you if there were 100 million Xbox Series S's out there, they would have figured it out by now.
Yeah.
Because that's too much money on the line. But yeah, that is a great price to answer your question.
Hell yeah.
In a concise manner.
Yeah, and it blew everyone away too. It blew everyone away because when they first said it would be under $1,000, I was like, oh, really? And so this is 10-4 hat time, right? I really think like they leaked out the actual price, right? So when they said under 1,000, and then the leaks started being $699, right? $799, right? People were like, oh, what? It's like the nipples start getting wet, Like, they want that. The nipples start getting hard. They want that, and it worked. I think that's exactly what they were doing. But I think it's because, and I've heard this multiple ways. A lot of people were saying like, what happened is they probably have to sell a lot of these because they have to buy a lot of shit from AMD to get the Bromad price that they probably got from them. Because these are a bunch of the I forget what it is, the 7940, some chip like that. If you watch ETA Prime, he's done a lot of he started doing reviews of that chip in a bunch of laptops and stuff, right? And it's that same chip without their XDNA.
Is that Eli?
Functionality. Yeah, it's a pretty close rendition.
Is Eli?
Let me see, bro. Y'all said I look like Mike Pine Smith. Y'all think I look like everybody black. Y'all racist.
All black people look the same.
You are black. What are you talking about?
Yeah, racist.
Those are some iconic black things. I don't know about you, sir. But anyway, so
look how happy Realist looks.
And you know what? I'm gonna get my child to take a picture of me just like that. And it's gonna be my Twitter profile pic.
Yeah, so when the price came out, it was just like, yo, for what it's offering, the level of performance and all that, bro, and Windows, so everything works. Come on, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, like
Rappity
certain people like to say on the internet. There's certain people known to say that phrase.
Yep, because see
it's a wrap.
Because see, my biggest issue with the Steam Deck is like I'm not a loyalist, right? You got a lot of these guys,
right?
They love Steam and they won't buy from anybody else. They love Linux and they don't want to run games on any other. And
there's a lot of people downvoting videos and putting comments and a lot of reviews and stuff, like all angry.
And I was having fun trolling
some dumb deckers, yo. A lot of dumb deckers out there.
You hear that? You hear that? Really says I love doing that.
Oh yeah, I was trolling. I was trolling them, man. because I can't stand Linux fanboys. They're almost as bad as ponies, bro.
They're worse in their own ways, I think. But,
I think
I've been dealing with them just as long.
I don't deal with them. I've always ran Windows. I've done the Linux thing. It's too much work. I just want to play games. That's why I prefer console when it comes to gaming.
Yeah, but even for me, with the SteamOS, when it finally does get released, I'm still gonna do the dual boot because the one thing I did like about it, besides if the compatibility was 100%, it would have been fine. Because it really give you that console-esque interface, right?
Bro,
it all was pretty seamless, right? And just for regular people, that's important. Exactly, because I'm a tinkerer. So I got to think for regular people. And regular people, that's what they want. That simple interface, and it worked and it was all nice. But because the compatibility is not there, now you have to go and fiddle.
Yeah. But if you're a Steam loyalist, you're not interested in this. Because
right.
the Steam Deck is your baby and there's nothing that can compare, right? Because it's from Gaben and Gaben was delivering it to people's homes. He really loves us, right? So look, in Phil we trust, ain't got nothing on in Gabe we trust.
Exactly.
So the reason that my biggest issue with the Steam Deck is it was only Steam. Yeah, Heroic is there and other workarounds, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
like I'm not a loyalist, so when Amazon gives me free games to go to GOG, I claim them.
Yep.
When EGS gives me free games, I claim them.
All them SAK games from Amazon, no doubt.
Right. Because they give them away for free, and you go claim them through GOG. You can't do that on a Steam Deck. Well, and then you can if
a couple of free games.
I ain't bootlegging, bro. I'm not.
No. You can get a couple.
My tinkering days are over.
Oh no, not bootlegging. I'm talking about like free games on Steam. That happens. Like
yeah,
what I'm
saying, that's what I call when you have to do workarounds to get things to work on the Steam Deck. Like when you boot up GOG, it's gonna just work. When you boot up Epic Game Store, it's gonna just work. That's what I want.
The Xbox app is there. It's not some hack trick you're doing with the browser.
And see, now I learned that guy. I didn't know who he was. I wouldn't if you would have mentioned him before that. I was like, huh? But because I was looking up ROG Ally videos, I know who he is now, and I just want it to work. I just want to play games, and it can and it runs games at 120 frames.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not false advertisement. This dude was playing Forza Horizon 5 at 120 frames on medium settings.
Yep.
Not even at full power.
Yeah.
So if you run it at full power, you should be able to put it on high and still be able to get somewhere between 100 and 120. I mean, come on, bro. Come on.
And remember, it's a handheld, so you don't need to have it on high. Being medium or even low is good enough.
I do.
I do too. But I'm saying for those who care about battery life, see, and that's the whole thing about the platform too. You get that choice.
I don't care. I don't care about battery life.
Because you don't care about battery life.
Because the battery life is trash.
Right, on both of them. They're the same level of trash. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. Because when I play a AAA game, even on the Switch, you run a AAA game, you're gonna get 2 hours, bro.
Yes.
So like I get an hour and 40. I get an hour and 40 minutes running AAA games on a Steam Deck. Dude, I got the Insignia Best Buy brand 40K power bank, and I got a 20K power bank from one of those fancy companies, like name brand power bank companies. Like, I brought those batteries on the way to go visit Legal. Like that was like 4 hours, and I didn't run out of juice. That's good. How long?
You didn't come visit me?
Hours?
Nice.
I will come visit you if you invite me. You're my boy, Blue.
We live like 40 minutes away from each other.
Dude, but I was there and you guys didn't call each other or say, hey, how you doing? You know, you want some turkey? None of that. so yeah. But yeah, it lasted the whole trip and the trip back. All right, my two power banks.
That's a good look.
I don't care about the power because the battery life is going to be trash unless you dummy it down, lower the wattages, run at 30.
Right.
No, I thought we were past 30 frames.
Yeah. That's the thing about it too. Like, and it's why I always said about the Steam Deck, because what it was is that it put a new line in the sand. It was a base minimum of acceptable performance of what it was, right? Because it wasn't the first of its ilk. It's not the first of its name. GPD and all these others been doing this long before Valve, right? And apparently Asus had been working on this for 5 years. So it wasn't the Steam Deck that made them do this. They were already on this mindset as well, right? And I see it all now, right? It all makes sense in hindsight, right? But like when Valve did that, the thing about the Steam Deck, I remember saying it's that there will be better devices, and now that Valve has validated, on this handheld PC thing, right? There's going to be more and more competition. You're going to see better devices. But those of you who like the Steam Deck can stay happy with it. You don't need to be jealous with the stuff that's coming up, because there will, until Valve sees fit that there's enough that they could provide over the Steam Deck that just in every way. And the ROG Ally generally does all those things. That's why I got one. That's why Riddis got one, right? I sold my Steam Deck today. In the middle of the last topic, you might have heard the Steam Deck logo go off. That was me resetting at the factory, right? To put in the box, right? I sold it on eBay, right? As soon as they announced the price.
Did you take a picture at least with it to have memories?
No. I mean, I have a whole unboxing video on YouTube for posterity's sake. And by the way, I'm doing a live unboxing for the ROG Ally.
Oh, there you go. That's
right? But it's just like it's always going to be that when Valve decides that they can get the right balance of everything, they'll do that. So it'll be like the Switch, man. They're going to ride it till the wheels fall off, or at least they feel it's time. I'm sure they won't do it to Nintendo levels where it's way out of date. But for now, so if you were with a Steam Deck, then rock you. But there are other people who want better performance. I want better performance. I know realists want better performance. 108 Dragons wants better performance. A lot of people do, and they want to just be able to run everything without stupid compatibility issues. It's a goddamn PC. You shouldn't have to worry about that. That's the last thing PC has ever had a problem with. I don't know how to start now, you know?
But yeah, because the Steam Deck is already starting to show its age.
Right. It started showing its age faster than I thought it would have.
And that's why I was looking into the One X player. I don't I don't like double dipping. I've been buckling down on double dipping, but I had to buy Psychonauts, and it really hurt me. I really wanted to play it on the go, so I bought it.
Right.
But no more double dipping. I don't have to double dip it. I don't have to buy it on Microsoft. I don't have to buy Game Pass games through Steam. That's my main thing. Like
I never do that. I never do that.
I will because it's like when I'm home, somebody might pull me onto something else. I don't ever put my thing on Do Not Disturb and like, you know, because maybe I should. I don't even know how to do it.
Yeah, me neither.
Now with this. Now that I'm not beholden to the Steam Deck, like I'll give you an example. If Street Fighter 6, right? I'm buying on Xbox, I want to buy on PC. I want to at least double dip, right? To have access to PC and Xbox, right?
Baby dip.
Right? So I can have it on the handheld, right? But like, if they sell, I know it's not Play Anywhere, but what if they sell Street Fighter 6 for PC also on the Xbox store? You know what? Before the ROG Ally, I would have to stick with the Steam version if I was going to double dip. Right?
Double dip.
Now, if they release it on the Xbox store, I could get that version for PC, right? And then get the Xbox version for PC. That's not Play Anywhere, obviously, because otherwise I'd buy it once and have it twice. I wish, but we know that that's going to happen, right? But if they saw the Xbox store, I could choose that now if I wanted to. It doesn't have to be Steam, like Realist is saying. I've had to make a little micro choices like that didn't really matter, but I generally wanted everything on Steam because it was easier. Plus, they had that same interface, you know, the same one that they have in the Steam Deck. It's on Steam for everybody now, so the ROG Ally will have that, right? It's got most of those little add-ons and extra things that they did to make handheld usable, right?
Yeah,
that's all there.
And you have to bootleg the cloud, bro.
You don't have to bootleg the cloud. Like I said, the Xbox app is there, built in. You don't have to do some web browser hack link, what
determines a Play Anywhere title? Do you know, Sick?
It's when you buy the game and you get on.
I know
Xbox.
what it is, but what determines, because I was going through my library when I was in a game. So it's just random. Because I was in my library the other day and there are a lot of games that I didn't know that I could play on my PC that I bought on Xbox.
Right. You know, so they will have the little logo there, Play Anywhere, and they'll say that.
Yeah. Never paid attention to a logo.
But like, for example, Turtles. Like I always mention to guys, like when we were playing it online together, I was playing the PC version, right? Because on the PC, remember, you got the Windows and G. It's got the Xbox bar. We get into the party chats. All that stuff is there. So I was playing the PC version with them, right? It was in the party chat and everything, but I was on PC. But it's also on Xbox. But it's a Game Pass game, so I had access to both versions. But I was thinking, that's another example of the game. I was thinking I want to buy that game, but because of the Steam Deck, I would have had to buy it on Steam. Now it's cross-platform, thankfully, and I still would have been able to play with Xbox guys, I believe, right? I'm not 100% sure about 80% sure this is true, right? But now I don't have to make that choice. I can just buy it on Xbox and be done, right? Because eventually it'll be off of Game Pass, and it's a game I feel deserving of my money. I just didn't know what platform to buy it on. Now I'm not locked to Steam. I prefer Steam when it comes to buying PC games or just like a be-all, end-all version. But I also want to be able to play with
cheapest.
Well, that's fine. But what's more important to me and will make me break that rule every time is when I want to be able to play with everybody else, right? And I'll get the console version for that all day. That's why I'll double dip on Street Fighter. Otherwise, I would just rock with the PC version because it will let me play with Xbox guys, but I also want on console, right?
Hey, so check it out. Here's the question. So, Tech, are you gonna be an ally of ours and get yourself an ally?
Nah.
Oh man.
No, I'm not a handheld guy.
Yo, the Ally is more powerful than a lot of people's PCs, right? I was asking Legal, when did he get his laptop? He said 2017. It's 2023. Like, that's more powerful than his laptop, right? Just as a PC. You know, you get a cheap $20 dock, keyboard, mouse, plug into your screen, boom, PC. Windows already. You know how to use Windows, right? Boom, there you go.
Windows. What is that?
I don't suggest you use this thing as a PC, not knowing what you're doing, and then get into a lot of stuff. If you just want it for games, just stick to that. But it's a PC, so yes. The Court of Valve ad.
But I'd rather not.
Right. I don't want to either. There's only a couple of apps I'll add, like Kodi
and watch movies.
Right, and watch movies. I'll add some media apps.
It comes with Dolby Atmos.
Right, Dolby Vision.
Oh.
So, it's good that it has those things. That's cool. But I'm gonna keep it to entertainment and media. But hell, if I'm in some kind of emergency situation where I need a PC to do something, hey, I guess I have one now.
Do some work.
I don't know. Who knows? I gotta hack the planet.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet.
I wonder if D-Brain is gonna have skins out of.
Oh, with well, maybe slightly slower. Slightly slower, because remember, Valve had released all the specifications and sizes and stuff, all the schematics to make that easier. But I'm sure there'll be just a wash of that stuff.
It's so pretty. I still prefer a black one.
Yes. So this is one that I'm definitely gonna put a skin on, because I don't like it in white at all. I'll be pissed off later on when it's the black one.
No white device for me.
And then I know, like, another thing with the Steam Deck is that Valve actually encourages you to break it open and start playing and start tinkering.
Yeah.
This one not so much. But
not so much. Yeah.
I got Best Buy Total Tech.
Mm-hmm.
So if it falls down, and technically you do too, Sick.
Right. So to put some flowers on your name or whatever, to put some respect.
You don't have to.
I'll just say, listen, I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have had it day one. Although it seems with the fact that it's still up for sale and not sold out, maybe this is not so true. I don't know, but I probably wouldn't have had it day one if it wasn't free release. So definitely, when I do that live stream, yeah, it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't there.
So check it out. You will always have it, because I'll never stop paying for it, because I buy too much crap from them.
Wait, are you gonna mount your camera so you have a nice steady visual of your unboxing?
You get a tripod.
I'm not doing none of that, man. It's gonna be low key. And listen, this time I'll be confident in my audio and stuff, because I know I had tested it before and it should have worked. So this time when somebody says, "Oh, I don't hear nothing," I'm gonna spend 3 minutes trying to figure it out. Hint, hint, Mr. Guy. Because anytime I go back and look at it, to critique myself, what I can do better, I'm like, oh god, this seems so stupid that all that happening. Oh, plus when I used the Steam Deck intro video or whatever that they had, and it had that one reggae beat, and they censored out the music, so that part in the beginning is just muted completely. If you watch it over, so I'll try to do a little better than that this time.
You can get that new Pixel Fold, and it has a tripod function.
$1,800. $1,800.
Is that how much the full fold was?
The full fold. They've been $1,800. I didn't get the first one. I got the second, third, and now the fourth one.
It must be the screen.
They've always been. I'm thinking that that's the most expensive component, because the Google one is $1,800, but the Tensor chip is not as good as the Snapdragon.
Yeah, and cheaper chip. We know that it's costing them less. So you gotta read the screen. Yeah. Oh no, that's not even a thing. That that info is out there.
So the Tensor is cheaper than the Snapdragon.
Yeah. It's costing them less. So therefore,
it's theirs.
It's the screen. Well, yeah, there's that too, but I think just overall, it costs less per wafer or whatever, right?
The thing. I mean, I didn't look at it at all. I just saw the price and thought, I was like, oh my god, that's a lot. But
how much? Okay, how much is your new S24 Ultra gonna be? Tech.
1,300, 1,200.
I don't know.
1,500.
Not 1,500, like 1,200.
I don't know. I still got the 21. I don't know.
That's because my wife.
Well, that's because you're gonna get the extra RAM and the extra.
It's not that. If you get a 5G, it's like $1,500. And the minimum storage is like 128. They used to have like 64s and stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now the minimum storage is 128.
Yeah, my Note 9 is
and
128.
then the 5G is gonna be 1500.
See, let me look up Samsung right now. See how much they are.
1500.
Let's see.
Hello, that's a lot of money.
Smartphones, the S series, which is what I usually get. Unlocked, starting $11.99. So the 512 is $13.99. And this is the S. Oh no, that's the S22. What's out right now? The 23?
Yeah, 23.
Why did they give me the 22? Let's see. Smartphone, S series. Where's the 23? Oh, there's the Ultra, which is what I usually get.
Yeah, the Ultra.
Yeah, I get the Ultra. That's what I always get for phones. So unlocked. Where is the unlocks? I don't. Oh, there it is. Starting $13.79 for the 512, 1 terabyte, 1600. God.
Mm.
Well, I mean, who needs a terabyte? That's why I settled
Yeah,
for 250.
yeah. 256 would be fine. Yeah,
256 is fine for me. I don't even get close to that.
I have 128 on my Note 9. Plus, I have a memory card that is just mainly media. I don't put anything on it. Right? It's just media that's on it. So, and my phone has enough room. I have all the apps. I never worry about like filling up with apps. Right? I put everything I need on it. Right? Once in a blue moon, if I don't use it for 2 years, I've had this phone for that. I've had it for what, 4 or 5 years now.
So
right,
$11.99 for the 256, and that's the smallest it'll get. 256 right now for the S23, and you know they're gonna announce the S24 soon. So
yeah, once in blue moon, I'll erase stuff. If 128 can make a person like me who downloads a lot of stuff and have lots of room left over, right?
Yeah,
256 is easy because that's basically what I have. Realistically, 256. So I got the memory card,
and I got the S21 Ultra right now.
So
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, see, my wife, she moved from the, what is it? She had the S22 Ultra.
That was the year before phone.
And then she went to the Flip.
Oh, the Flip.
Okay. Yeah,
and I told her, I said,
women should like that.
Well, yeah, because she got it all bedazzled, but but like I said, that phone is weaker than the Ultra line, right? She's like, I don't know, I don't really care. I just love it. It's good enough.
Yep.
She really does like it. And
as soon as I saw those flip phones, I knew they would have been popular with women because of the form factor.
Well, you got to remember, like back in the day, the Razor was the Moto Razor. That was the phone everybody wanted.
Yep. The ladies especially love that one too for the same reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's small.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the more y'all talk about it, y'all make me feel bad. And then people responding to my YouTube comments telling me, and this is robbery and all this other stuff.
Tomfoolery.
Golly, man. Yeah, I mean, but like, if you didn't buy a Fold and then all of a sudden you're acting like you're interested in the Fold, then I can't really take you saying, oh, it's too expensive, because they've been that price. Even when the Fold 1 was straight garbage, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, nah, I can't do that. Like that big old bezel on it, and then you had that notch on the top right corner of the.
Well, like, the one thing I can't get past on the Folds, this will be for any phone. If there's no hinge mechanism to keep the screen separate, is the folding crease that's going to happen eventually.
But you don't see those folding creases there day one, but you're not gonna. You can feel it, but you can't see it. You can't see it when you're watching your media or whatever. If you want to see it, you can basically angle it at the light and look at it on a flat plane, but you're not gonna see it. You can feel it, but there's very little that you need to do in the very middle of the screen. When you're watching your movies, you can't see it. Now, the thing I like about the Google Pixel is it's wider. Mm-hmm. I don't like how the fold is.
It seems
long,
to fold better.
It's long.
Yeah.
Well, they got an upgraded hinge mechanism too.
Yeah, it's much better.
They don't have the big lump on the back. It's all folds. Yeah. It all folds within the phone.
Yeah. And there's an attachment where you can get, and then it could be a kickstand, and it could hold the pen as well. I think it's like a kickstand, and it's just like magnetically attaches on.
Yeah, but they need to get back to the note where they have the pen in the phone.
Yeah. They do. I agree. That's why I still have my Note 9, baby.
This is why like I was never hyped about like when it came to like cloud gaming, because I was doing it right, but you had to have that good connection. I remember I was playing Vampire Survivors and it just are you still there? Like, yeah, I'm still here, man. You know, but what it was is that it was about to force close because like it wasn't keeping up and my stream was getting so degraded.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a what is it, a terabyte? Whatever 1,000 megabits per second is.
Gigabit.
Terabits.
A gigabyte.
No.
A gigabit.
Gigabit.
Gigabit,
Gigabit. Yeah, I'm getting gigabit speeds in the city, and the connection isn't always there. It's really for Wi-Fi. If you can play on Wi-Fi, that's why that Keystone, they need to go ahead and pick that back up because it has an Ethernet port. If you can put that get that Ethernet in there, then it's almost seamless, bro. You can't tell the difference because I play a lot of indies on the in the cloud without installing them on my Xbox.
Okay, here's the thing about that. Just beware, right? Remember the size of these indies. A lot of them are pretty small, right? A lot of people like, oh, I be playing all these indies on the cloud, but they're so small. The bandwidth you waste playing on them on the cloud, you could have just downloaded the game and had it locally.
Yeah.
Locally. And it would have saved you on the bandwidth.
Let me guess. Are you metered up there?
No, I'm not metered or anything. I'm talking about for the little indies. That's like 100 megs, 200 megs, 500 megs at most.
Oh, yeah.
Why stream that?
I don't even play that.
You'll run through the size of the game in, 20 minutes.
No, that's where I do get bougie. I ain't playing Nintendo games no more. Like Vampire Survivor is the closest that I get to Nintendo. Like old school 8-bit. Like if it's too small and too basic, it's not imaginative enough for me. So I don't really play those. It's got to be something like a little something extra to it. Hey, but did you bought that DLC, right, Sick, for Vampire Survivor?
Yes, absolutely. Both Steam and Xbox.
Yeah, I bought it on both too. I need to actually buy the game on Xbox. I didn't buy the game.
I don't know if I actually did either. Let me address that. Let's see, and then I'm gonna address that one way or another. Because on Game Pass, it's 20% off, and it's a $4.99 game. That's just embarrassing. So.
Yeah, but I mean, look. I'm not trying to prove a point like some of these other suckers. I got Game Pass, but I want to support the devs. Like Xbox didn't cut them a huge check to put the game in
Exactly. But to me, this is a principle thing. Like, I love the game so much, I would have bought it anyway. It's $5 and it's 20% off. Like, God damn it, I can give them 3 and change. What kind of degenerate am I? I'm just checking on the GP of it.
Yeah. Because I mean, I played it on the phone. It's not quite the same. But yeah, I was looking at Gogo Poe's comments. Like, he's a Steam guy. Steam has the most exclusives. It's not about Steam, the platform. It's about the Steam Deck. And if I buy a handheld that's a PC, I want to play my games that I buy from everywhere, not just from Steam. But I understand that Steam is not in the business of promoting Epic or anything else, right? And they didn't build their version of Linux to help anybody else.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I understand. Well, they use Wine though. They don't use Windows.
But even then they forked it. It's Proton. It's a fork. I mean, they do give back afterwards to Wine, and they implement it later. But yeah, it's not even Wine. It's Proton. It's their own thing.
Well, when you're in the desktop, it's Wine for Epic Games.
Oh, okay. Epic is Wine. Okay.
And there's another thing. On Steam. EA games don't work.
Oh yeah, a lot of the EA games have the.
I subscribe to
the anti-cheats.
To EA Play. No, it ain't even about the anti-cheat. Nothing works. Like it's something to do because they're like, okay, they're supposed to be getting rid of the Origin launcher somehow.
Right.
Oh, are they?
EA, and they have the EA app now. The Origin launcher has been depreciated now.
So
you can't
it works.
get it new
It
install
works.
or whatever.
So you need that launcher even through Steam, and it doesn't, and they don't communicate with each other. So I
Right.
can't. I subscribe to EA Play through Steam, but I can't play my EA Play games.
Without
I
EA
can't play
Play.
my EA Play games on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. Without EA Play.
So, well, you can do it through the desktop, and it's iffy.
It's all types of hack bullshit instead of just being able to click console simple like they try to have.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
picking up what I'm putting down. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those Zach, don't be laughing. Because man, I've been going at it with these guys, these Gabe and We Trust guys. They're like, oh, the Steam.
And I love me some Gaben, bro. But come on, bro. Like I remember when he was saying they're the Steam machines.
Gaben ain't no different than anybody else because they're like, yeah, we hate Windows and yada yada yada. It's like, bro, what do you think that if they keep taking market share from Windows, what do you think Gabe is gonna do differently? Nothing.
Nope.
He's gonna bully just like everybody else will with the power. It's like that's why I'm not mad at Sony. Like they talk about Microsoft trying to monopolize. Dude, Sony's been using their market position to monopolize the market in their own way. So like I'm not looking at Steam as any kind of savior. They're no different. The only thing is they're getting these loyal followers, and then if they were to so happen to even out the gaming PC market share, they would do nothing different than Microsoft, Apple, or anybody else.
Yeah, it's true. It's just that
because if they were really about all that, we'll be able to play Game Pass without doing all these goofy workarounds.
Right.
We would be able to play. There'd be an Epic launcher, but no, it's open when it's convenient for them. That's why I don't buy into all the bull crap.
Well, see, the whole launcher wars on PC is simple, right? Steam, and remember when Steam first came out, it was hated. It earned a place of respect because it fixed all its issues and started providing new features, right? It started to provide the party chat, a lot of the Xbox stuff, the party chat invites, all of that, right? So then it got to a point where not only was a great platform to buy games because of the pricing, the platform worked, they did everything PC gamers asked for. PC gamers are very specific. Yo, if you do XYZ, you can have our money. Just shut up and take our money, right? They're very specific about what they want. So all you got to do is do what they say, and you get the money that they claim because they mean what they say and they do what they mean, right? Or I think I got that backwards, but you know what I'm saying. Like
the other way around.
Right. So but Valve did that, right? So then you have like EA and Ubisoft and all of them, they had their own launches. And I'm talking about Epic, right? EA and Ubisoft, for example, right? And people were cool that they left Steam, but it's not that they were cool. They were like, okay, fine, right? But people still use those platforms to get those games, right? But that was their own platform for their own games, and that was fine, right? Don't like it. Preferred it was on Steam, but at least we didn't have like a war with it like we did with Epic, because what happened was they didn't try to compete with Steam and try to lie on its name and say all these things like, oh, we're better, when you can't even buy multiple games at one time in a checkout cart, or if you buy too many games at one time, they lock your account because they're so immature at this game, they don't know what they're doing, right? But they're making their thing, but they're making software that people are anticipating last minute exclusive to their store out of nowhere for a lesser experience, objectively speaking, right? If they didn't do any of those things and they just had their platform, it would have been another platform. We wouldn't have wanted to deal with it, but it would have been fine to exist. It became a holy war when it was that, right? So, but that mindset is different from people who are just blind for Steam. Those dudes can
suck it.
Oh my God, yo. So freaking annoying. They just are so blind, and a lot of them are the ones defending the Steam Deck now in the face of the ally. Like, it's like a holy war to them. It's the same type of mentality of those dudes who started defending the Switch when the Steam Deck was announced, right?
Yeah.
It's the same mentality.
Good stuff, man. I think it's time to wrap it up. It's that 9 o'clock.
I got that right exactly on the minute.
But all that you said, it was compounded when
It's
Epic started buying
compounded
exclusivity too.
under 30 seconds. I was watching the clock here. It says, all right, he's
Man,
got
in
a
the
few
show.
seconds. And in the show here. So good stuff with the mobile gaming, because I mean I like it. I like the handhelds. It's just like I don't need another device. I got too many devices already as it is. So, and I still can't find my Nintendo Switch. So I'm still looking for it.
Something must have happened.
I stole it.
Something must have happened. One of those boys is up to something, bro.
Yeah, I know they are. They're doing something with it. But anybody in the chatter box still hanging out with us? Thank you very much. Realist Sick, thank you very much for showing up.
Yeah, shout out to Punny who was there at minute 0001.
He's always there, man. He's a cool cat. So
yes, he is.
All right. Well, good night, guys. You guys have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.